Alors, bonsoir tout le monde. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March 10th Council meeting. Alors, rappel, tous les membres du Conseil sont présents. We'll stand for the territorial and land acknowledgement.
Nous reconnaissons que nous sommes sur le territoire non cédé des Anishinaabe et les terres traditionnelles des peuples Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat et Kanyen-Kahaka. Nous reconnaissons notre obligation commune de respecter, d'honorer, préserver ces terres et les ressources naturelles qu'ils contiennent.
Merci. Whereas Canada is founded upon the principles that recognizes the supremacy of God and the rule of law, let us take a moment of personal reflection.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us commend, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée. Il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Merci. Alors, moving to item number 4, additions, deletions, or amendments. So I've received a request from Councillor Armstrong to remove item 10A, proclamation flag raising request. And so this item will be moved to section 17A under new business and reports for separate discussion and voting. Are there any other amendments for the agenda? Hearing, seeing none. So adoption of the motion to approve the agenda as amended. So this is moved by Councillor Armstrong, seconded by Councillor Deakin, and I'll call for the vote. All in favor? I've got 3 against. 1. You're in favor? All right. So all in favor? Passed. Thank you. All right. Item number 6, déclaration d'intérêt pécuniaire. Je n'en vois pas. Alors, numéro 7, adoption des procès-verbaux. Motion to approve motion to approve council minutes from the regular meeting on February 24th, 2025. And this is moved by Conseiller Lalonde, seconded by Councillor Deakin. Call for the vote. All in favor? And pass. Thank you. Number 8, presentations. We have none. Number 9, delegation petitions. We have none. Item 10, consent items. So, Madame Camille Laflamme, do I need to read the paragraph, or can I just do the motion? I always forget.
Just the first motion.
Thank you. So, motion that all items except item A under the consent items be received as presented. And so we have B, minutes of the Marionville Citizens Committee, minutes of the Parks and Recreation and Cultural Advisory Committee, D, minutes from the Township Russell Public Library Board meeting, minutes from the United Counties Prescott-Russell January meeting, F, minutes from the South Nation Conservation January meeting, and G, the follow-ups from our last council meeting. So this is moved by Councillor Lauren, seconded by Councillor Armstrong. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? And passed. Thank you very much. Item 11, reports from departments and council committees. So Community Improvement Plan CIP Village of Emblem and Russell Report EcoDev 2025-01A. And so this was originally actually passed on February 10th, if I understand correctly, and we are bringing it back just to make sure that we're following the proper notification protocols, correct, Monsieur Godin?
Merci, Monsieur le Maire. Bonsoir, chers membres du Conseil. That's correct. So, excuse me. Nothing's changed as for the report itself, but we did miss a step in a procedural step as far as having a notice of passing. So just to be safe and to check off every checkbox, we're bringing it back to Council for readoption, and then we'll be issuing a notice of passing as of tomorrow.
Okay, so nothing has changed within that, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so questions, comments, members of council? Councillor Armstrong?
Sorry. Just one comment, and this isn't to change what we've got or whatever now, just for the future. We have a consultant's report, and we're incorporating the consultant's report into the bylaw. My question is, whenever I read that, as I did again this afternoon, is that it doesn't read as a bylaw. It's as consultant recommends, and the consultant suggests and stuff like that. And ultimately, it can be difficult as a bylaw for somebody to understand. Did we actually mean that or whatever? I think I know what we mean here, and I think everybody does. But my just personal opinion is going on in the future, we should avoid having consultant report unedited as the actionable portion of a bylaw.
Monsieur Godin, does that make sense?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So I'm not sure I understand completely what Councilor Armstrong is trying to get to. I can definitely take a note of it, and we can maybe discuss it. Because you're saying it's fine the way it is, but there could be an improvement.
Yeah, and it's for the future, and I'll have I have another comment on that a little bit further on down, and we can actually, perhaps I can illustrate it better in one of the other items a little later down here, and you'll see what I mean. And the item that I would be commenting on is the next one, actually, the mutual aid bylaw. I think I can illustrate things better that way.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, so any other questions on this one? No, seeing, hearing none. Okay, merci beaucoup, Monsieur Godin. Item B, La Nation Mutual Aid Agreement, Report ISWAT WW 2025-02. Anything to add on that, Monsieur Godin, Monsieur Goulet? I believe this is, it's new for us to do that, but we've been practicing this mutual aid with La Nation for quite some time.
We've been working with them on different things, but this is just to formalize something with La Nation.
And so, do we have any recent examples where we have worked with them in an emergency or an issue has come up?
We've never worked with La Nation directly, but we've worked with Rockland on different things. I think the last storm in 2022, we've sent some help over to help them out. It wasn't water related, but public works related.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Any any questions, Councillor Armstrong?
Yeah, and following up on my previous one, I looked, and if we could bring up in the report or the bylaw section 1.1, just as an example to illustrate what I was meaning.
Juste le rapetisser un peu, là.
Yeah, just a little bit more. Oh, it's down in the actionable part, yes.
That's the actual report or in the bylaw itself?
No, that's the CIP. It's the next one. The Roger. It's the item 11B. And it's the actual, yeah.
One below, yeah.
That's it.
Is there a specific area that Councillor?
Yeah, and there it says, and just as an example, this report outlines a proposed mutual aid agreement.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a problem in a contractual setting, as if there is a disagreement,
It's not proposed, we've accepted that.
and I know from contract law, if the authority or whoever drafts it, of course, is the one who's liable for any ambiguities in the contract. And again, we can go down into section 7.1, and that's a good one because it's liability insurance. And it says cover damages or injuries that occur. So who covers damages or injuries that occur? How is that divided up between the two parties in the contract? And again, that's not clear for me. I would expect to know that, if we have somebody working in Limoges and an injury or what damage occurs in Limoges, who is responsible? Is it Nation Township or is it us? Whose insurance is first called on?
So, just a clarification, Councillor Armstrong. So the first point you raised is around the writing, how it falls into almost like as part of the report that was put together.
Yes.
And I could see that in the first example. In this particular example, you're asking for additional clarity. It's not the same.
Yes. Not quite the same, no, but
okay. I think that particular section, anything like that, Monsieur Godin, is this normally reviewed by legal when we put this together, when we have liability clauses? Are these standard?
So we normally do get our agreements and reviewed by legal and insurances. In this particular case, I think it was not piggybacked, but kind of copied from an existing agreement that we already have. So this particular one was not reviewed, but my understanding is that the original one was. So if there are any concerns about specific items in the agreement, we can definitely look into it.
Yeah. So I would just caution that anything that we look at, if there is a concern, that we should address it, but we let the legal experts kind of decide if it's proper wording or not. So, Councillor Lauren.
On the 2 points raised by Councillor Armstrong, the first one, I agree with the fact that there's something missing in the actual bylaw. There's no, now therefore be it resolved that council does X, right? Usually bylaws have that listed in them. So it just keeps saying whereas, and then right into a document. So I don't think this is complete. The second part is, in that circumstance, I would say, now therefore council be resolved that council approve the proposed attached proposal on mutual agreement, or the proposed mutual agreement, and then you have the full mutual agreement as an attachment or appendix to this bylaw. Just having it add the table of contents at the bottom of the whereas, to me, and I think that's where Councillor Armstrong is going, isn't the proper process. So I don't know how urgent this is, but I would probably suggest we remove this item for consideration and defer it and have it come back at the next meeting, properly drafted and ready for us to sign off on. That's my suggestion.
Thank you, Councillor Lauren. I think that Monsieur Godin, any comments on that? That makes sense, eh? Okay, so we're gonna end up pulling item B from that. Thank you for the feedback. Any other comments on this as we move forward? All right, item C, Community Grants Contribution Report, PR 2025-03. Anything to add, Madame Guittard? I have a quick question, actually, before I pass the mic over to you. So for the CF dance support request, and you're recommending declining an amount of $850. If I went through the letter, did I miss the request for $850 in the letter? I don't seem, like when I scanned through it, it was asking for for the rental, but I didn't see the cash being asked for.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor,
Is it
members
right
of
there?
council. No, I think the 850 was mentioned in the budget of the grant
Oh,
application.
I see, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, that's why I didn't get it, but
No, the
that's all.
letter was just to confirm where the funds would be going and the mandate of the event.
Okay. All right, so anything to add specifically to your recommendations?
No, I think it was clear that we're not recommending the ad hoc grant part of the request, since
Okay.
they're already making a net revenue, and I don't think this is the mandate of this program. So we're letting them have the hall free, and they're still making net revenues to be remitted to the Cystic Fibrosis Agency.
Merci beaucoup. Questions, commentaires, membres du conseil? Non? Merci. Alors, on continue. Alors, on tombe à numéro 12. Reports from, right? I'm good, right? Yeah, good. Reports from Investigator Ombudsman. And so Ontario Ombudsman Investigation Report, March 2025, 5 complaints, 2023 and 2024. And so I think everyone's had a chance to review those. It's quite nice to see the feedback that was received. I believe since 2018, we've had about 20 of these. Madame Camille Laflamme, can you give me do you have that?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. So between 2018 to 2024, we had 10 that are inactive right now.
Okay.
And we had 6 that were active, so this is 5 out of them. So that's 16 in the last
Okay, so
7 years.
and then in terms of this particular report, I think there was it was found that we respected the rules around the closed sessions all the way through. There was a comment or recommendation around posting video after the closed session, I believe. Was that this one?
There was a note that we should amend maybe on our website, the
Yeah,
way just to say
information.
that when we're going into closed session, we're not coming back with the
Yeah.
webcast.
Okay.
And that was done.
And that's already actioned,
Yes, so
correct?
that's
Okay.
on the calendar of all the meetings, and there is a
Excellent.
note that says we're not coming back live.
So out of all these complaints that have now been received and kind of put to rest, what kind of investment does this require? And it's a good process. Just from my kind of understanding, how much time is invested in these?
Well, in terms of time in years, it could take a few years because some of these were in 2023, so almost a year and a half between.
Back and forth.
Yeah, back and
investigation.
forth, but altogether, without including the time to read the reports themselves, because it all depends if they're big, it's just a letter, or there's no report. It's about 2 hours to 2.5 hours per complaint,
Per complaint.
yes.
Well, I wanted to congratulate you and your office on the work in managing all of these cases and making sure that we meet our requirements, giving the information. So, Monsieur Godin as well, for
Thank
everyone
you.
on the team, because I know it's a lot of work to do that. And we have received a lot of them, so I'm quite happy to see Township vindicated in the sense that we are following the rules as we should. So, anything else to add, Madame?
Yes, I just thought, so this is only my time, so this doesn't include if they have to talk to the mayor, sometimes they talk to the councillors, sometimes they talk to department heads as well, depending on the issue, what's involved, so that's more time as well. It's only like my time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any other comments from members of council on this? All right, so again, the results of all these investigation to date has found that Township did nothing wrong, council did nothing wrong in the closed session complaints that were lodged. Thank you. All right, moving to item 13, notice of motions. We have none. Item 14, question period on meeting of the day. So by asking questions during the council meeting, you are consenting to be part of a live broadcast and the official public recording of the proceedings. Any questions? So questions have to relate to items on the agenda. Before asking a question, make sure you fill in the name on the sign-in sheet And if you wish to receive a response from a member of council or staff, please leave a phone number, email on the sheet, and state your name before asking your question.
Tony Bass. Who pays the ombudsman to do the investigation?
The ombudsman himself?
Yeah.
Madame Camille Laflamme, it's a part of Ontario government budget, right? Yeah.
So we're paying somebody, the government's paying somebody to investigate our government, basically.
Councillor Ryan?
Yes, this is a provincial program, so the ombudsman for the province. So if somebody makes a complaint, it goes to the province. The province then investigates the township or the municipality for the alleged infraction. So taxpayer dollars going to taxpayer dollars to research and analyze and investigate these requests.
So has they ever found a township to be in the wrong?
Madame Camille Laflamme,
Our township? Sorry, just
Yeah.
to clarify.
Well, any township.
Okay.
I think that happens on a regular basis, yeah. That there are some issues that come up. Specifically for our township, in those that you just saw that came out today, there was nothing that township did wrong, but it does happen. There's a lot of case law that's out there specific to where there are cases where township either intentionally or unintentionally contravened to the Municipal Act. So it does happen.
I have one thing that I'm kind of concerned about.
The question?
My question would be is, why is the sports complex report not coming on up in the meeting? It was suggested on February 10th
Okay. So
that we have a meeting, that we have a report concerning our very large purchase,
So-
$100 million.
Okay, so the item is not on the agenda, but I'm happy to answer that question for you. So the requirement was to have regular updates on the rec complex, and so those updates are forthcoming. There was, as a matter of fact, an update that was posted to the public just this past week, I believe, Monsieur Godin. And then formal updates are coming directly to council, and those will be done on a regular basis. Monsieur Godin, when is the first one that's planned?
Merci, Monsieur Mayor. So it's going to be quarterly reports that are
Yeah.
coming in, so every 3 months. So the first one, I think, is in the month of April that we're going to be bringing in.
Perfect. So again, it wasn't related to the agenda, but I think it's an important question, and we as a council, I can assure you, are very interested in knowing that it's following budget. We're on time and on budget, and making sure that it's moving forward. It is a big project. You are correct in saying that, and we are assuming a lot of due diligence on that.
Okay, so in April, you said? Yeah, sorry.
Yep, that's correct. And
that's
there is
gonna be
updated.
At a council meeting?
This will be a public report at council on a regular basis every 3 months, but there will be additional updates that are posted. So, for example, we just put an update last week through the general contractor about where they're at, what's been done, and we've asked for more of those as well, so that we can keep our community involved. Madame Guittard, anything to add on that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. So there will be some updates done every second week
Yeah.
on
thank
the
you.
website.
And that's from the general contractor,
the
giving
general
us an update what's
contractor,
going on.
Regarding the construction and the timeline and everything that is going on.
Perfect.
So
Thank
under
you.
what title would we be looking for that?
So if you just go under the website, under the Rec Complex Project, there's a whole page there, and everything that's ever been published is on there, including our finance plan, including operational plans, and so on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Moving to item 18, so, 15. We did decide to pull an item, right? 2 seconds. Thank you. All right, so under resolutions, motion that council approved, we have to pull it first, right? No. Put it on the table, yes. So motion that council approve all recommendations listed on the agenda under item 11, reports from departments and council and committees, and this is moved by Councillor Lalonde and Councillor Deacon. It's on the table. And I believe we're proposing to remove 11B. Okay. Any other comments on that? So moved by Councillor Lawrence, seconded by Councillor Armstrong. Call for the vote to remove 11B and passed. Thank you. And so a motion that council approve all recommendations listed on the agenda under item 11 except B, reports from department and council and committees. And this is moved by, no, it's already on there. So I'll call for the vote. Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Passed. All right. All right, now bring back 11B. The meeting was too short, so I gotta take my time here. Alors, item 11, accord d'aide mutuelle de la Nation, rapport IS WAT WW 2025-02. I need a mover and a seconder to put on the table. Moved by Councillor Deacon, seconded by Conseiller Lalonde. And Councillor Lauren?
I'm going to propose an amendment to defer this item to the next meeting.
Okay, I've got a proposal to defer the item to next meeting, seconded by Councillor Lauren. Call for the vote to defer the item. All for, against, so that's passed.
Sorry, I missed. It was Councillor Lauren and.
Proposed, seconded by Councillor
you.
Armstrong. And that's passed as a deferral. Thank you. All right, item 16. Motion that council approve bylaws 2025-35 to 2025-36 inclusively for a first, second, and third reading as listed on the agenda. And this is moved by Councillor Deacon, seconded by Councillor Lauren. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? And passed. Thank you very much. Okay, so under item 17, new business reports. So item 17A, Proclamation flag raising request Pride Week 2025. I need a mover and seconder to put it on the table. So this is moved by Councillor Lawrence, seconded by Councillor Lalonde. It's on the table. And do we have any amendments, questions, comments around this item? Councillor Armstrong.
I'll not be voting in favor of that particular item.
That's fair. Is there any questions or comments relating to the item, or just a?
No, I think we need an overall policy on presentations, and one at a time is not good. We've had enough time in the township to put together a policy or bylaw on such presentations, and I don't agree with it, and just my opinion, I will not vote for it.
Okay, so just confirming, when we're referring about presentations, are you talking about like for flag raising?
Among other things, but we have other celebrations. It's the celebration part that is the objection part from my point.
Okay.
That we should be able to have that all sorted out.
So just a clarification point, I'll get you the floor. The clarification point is, so we do have a bylaw 2021-046 for, it's a bylaw for, so raising flags and half-masting, I believe. And so this falls within that bylaw. So I think under section 6 for flag raising requests, there are 3 conditions for flag raising requests, and so that's well documented within that bylaw. And I'll just list them here for public's consumption. But so we may use the flag raising event. The criteria is in support of fundraising drives important to the resident of the townships of Russell. 2, to celebrate civic events important to residents of the township of Russell. And 3, or for other reasons as determined by the mayor. So I think this one falls under celebrating civic events. And so I think it does meet the requirement. We've been doing it for the last few years. And so I just wanted to confirm that. I also think that this particular request also aligns with the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Ontario Human Right Code compliance, municipal commitment to inclusivity, enhancements of community engagement, legal and ethical responsibilities, and cultural and social significance. So I think under all of those conditions, it certainly meets the value of that request. So those are my comments. Councillor Deakin?
Thank you, Mayor Tarnowski. I just wanted to add that flying flags is so important here in front of our building for many reasons. We fly the Franco-Ontarian flag, the Canadian flag, a third flag, which I believe is the Township flag, if I'm not mistaken, with the boat on it. When we make these decisions, they shouldn't be made lightly, certainly. And one of the big things that comes up with Pride Proclamation and Pride flag flying is the idea of having the Pride flag, the inclusive, progressive Pride flag, flying alongside the Canadian flag. And I just want to say that we have multiple flagpoles, and we're also following the Department of Canadian Heritage Pride flag protocol itself. The Pride Flag Committee, it's a group of individuals in our community representing various social service organizations, healthcare professionals, active military serving personnel, education organizations as well. And I just want to reiterate that I will be supporting flying the flag again this year and having an appropriate ceremony to mark the occasion of Pride for Russell Township.
Thank you, Councillor Deakin. Any other comments or questions on this item? Councillor Lauren?
Yeah, I'd just like a registered vote on this, please.
Thank you. I was going to ask for that, but you beat me to it. So last but not least, just a last thought on that. So today I would urge council to continue our tradition. I think it's a clear message that everyone in our community matters, and no one should feel excluded. So I'm going to be in support of that. So I'm going to ask for a recorded vote on this item. And so as in asking for a recorded vote from left to right, I would ask every member of council just to pronounce their name and just say for or against, please, for Madame Laflamme to register that. Councillor Armstrong.
Charles Armstrong, against.
Jamie Lauren, in favor.
Lisa Deakin, yes.
Mark Lalonde, in favor.
So Mike Ternosky in favor as well, so that's passed. Thank you very much. All right, item 22, closed session. So pursuant section 239(2), 3, and 3.1 of the Municipal Act 2001, SO 2001, Chapter 25, motion to move in closed session at the hour of 6:34 p.m. to address matters pertaining to Section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001, SO 2001, Chapter 25, to consider matters relating to 1, land acquisition in Russell, Report CS 2025-03, and item 2, closed session minutes of the regular council meeting dated February 10th. I need a mover, a seconder. No, just call the vote, right? Or no, mover, seconder. So moved by Councillor Deakin, seconded by Councillor Lauren. I'll call for the vote. And so against? All right, so passed. And we're going to move into closed session. Thank you.
Against closing closed session?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I take it?
No, we'll take a 2-minute here. And